Guys, what the hell happened to when we were kids and we used to just like hang out with our friends just 24 hours a day on repeat, just 7 days a week. And we would, like, I don't know, maybe you had friends who were neighbors, maybe you lived in a cul-de-sac, maybe not, maybe you just had best buds that you would, cruising around the streets with. I don't even think this is just like a 90s thing or even an 80s thing or whatever. Like, I think this is just childhood with most people. Maybe not Gen Z or whatever, Gen Z. But even still, I think it is. But whatever happened to that? And I feel like I recently went overseas to Armenia, of all places. And I don't think it's unique in this, but certainly most Western countries aren't like this. But the peeps are just hanging out just continually with each other. And this whole Western lifestyle where you sort of have your own little box that you live in, and you travel to work and you spend all your good energy and hours there all day, and then you're sort of grinding through that, and then you might go train, or you might have some drinks and you just go back home and like do that on repeat, and you have waiting for the weekend, and you let loose on the weekend, not even necessarily drinking or whatever, but just like you have this very small window to decompress, and just so isolating. And I know some people are kind of good at staying connected and that kind of thing, but I think collectively we're horrible at it. And I had the realization recently when I was on this trip, it's like, whatever happened to when we were just hanging out all the time, like literally all the time? And I thought about it, like, imagine you're in a tribe or something, like how we have evolved to be, or a small community or whatever, and you're just literally just shooting the shit with your mates all day long, just with the boys, and the girls are there as well, and they're chilling with the girls, and you can hang out or whatever. You can still have your families and stuff, but you're just continually hanging out. And even when you go out and hunt or do whatever hunter-gatherers did, hunting and gathering, I don't know what they did for recreation, or if they did gym workouts and stuff, but you know what I mean? They were just hanging out and just hunting and talking shit, telling stories, whatever, doing that kind of thing on repeat. And it's like having sleepovers, hanging out with this friend, continuing to hang out with this friend, and then hanging out with some other friend, like it's just, whatever happened to that, it's gone completely. And I realized that's normal. Like, that's how we are supposed to be. Like, we're supposed to be hanging out all the time. And when I was overseas and I was living like this, I was like, oh my God, there's so little time outside of just being connected with people, doing things, that you don't give it, like, there's so little time out of that. You just kind of, you're out of the house and you just, conk out, and then you do it all over again. And we're all like reclusive, live in our houses and stay in our houses. And it's like, you barely need the house when you're out and about. That's the opposite of how we are. It's like, my house, protect it, keep it, tend it, which I get the value in that, but you really start to forget about those desires and those needs when you have that regular hanging out with people, with your friends. And yeah, I think our work lives aren't conducive to that, and you really have to force it almost. Like, I don't know, speak to your manager. If you work for yourself, you're going to have to, it's going to be extra tricky. You're going to establish continual contact, and I think that's really motivating. Not to say you shouldn't be able to be by yourself, and having done a lot of that and a lot of introspection, it's like, it's great, but also it's just like, too much time in your head, and I don't think it's good. It just actually prevents us from experiencing well-being for a start, but also the things that you learn from interacting in the energetic exchanges is so much more. And staying in that environment is you're just continually, through osmosis, learning, evolving, that kind of thing. As soon as you're by yourself, you're reading books, you're doing this, nothing wrong with reading books, but just like all this time in your head and thinking about things, we're always thinking, and it's just not the way that we should be, that we're sort of evolved or made to exist. It's just really, really unnatural. So I'm saying bring that back as much as possible. Like, your whole day should be just filled with hanging out. And maybe you ask, where's the productive time? Who gives a fuck? Like, there can be productivity in hanging out all the time. And you might have small glimpses of focus work, that's fine. But the rest of the time literally should just be hanging out. Even if you're training, if you're doing this, it's like that setting your life up like that, it's not a sign of you can't be alone with yourself. Maybe it is a sign for some people, like, and you maybe need to prove you can spend some time by yourself, but it doesn't need to be continual, and it doesn't need to be a lifestyle. You can go off and do a retreat, or you can go away for the weekend, or you can just spend a day by yourself every once in a while and just sort of go inwards or whatever, but go on a bushwalk or something. But it should not be our normal way of life. And yeah, when you're in the state, when you're experiencing this childlike state of like, the day's ahead of me, I'm hanging out with my friends, who cares? Like, all of these worries, all these desires, I gotta get new clothes, I gotta become this, I gotta become famous, I gotta be really good. Like, you don't give a shit because you're just hanging out with the boys or with the girls or whatever it is, and you're hanging out with your mates and you're like, this is sick, and we're just connecting, so much fun, learning, and that's just shows you what's most important in life. And it's so obvious when you come back to a Western country like that. Like, I'm in Australia, I imagine it's similar for the US, and different people are in the Western countries would be aware of this, but for the most part not, at least not doing anything about it. And it's so jarring when you come back and you're like, far out, Brussels sprout, like, this is so sad. And you can see why we're all on social media and all in this, like, addicted, because we're so empty because it extends to this materialistic search. It's like, I got to get ahead, I got to fucking, and it catches you in this grind, and other people are a distraction from that rather than the center of life and what gives us meaning. Instead we go, no, and then we get bitter at each other and we like, no, my stuff, my things, me. And yeah, we're in this mindset, and it's just yuck. It sucks. It's so shit. It's such a boring existence, and it could be so much better. Like, we really don't have to be living like this. We could be having fun, but no, you gotta, life's a struggle and all of this shit, or you gotta hustle, and like, it's just a lie to feed you, keep you just going down and down into the spiral. Like, if I could just get ahead, and yeah, fuck that. Genuinely fuck that. It's so shit. So if you can get a taste, I don't know if you're in a Western country and you feel alone, which I'm sure you do, you feel lonely and you're like, what the hell? And you're like, well, what can I do about it? I guess I better get on my grind set and, start following my dreams or whatever. You realize that stuff's bullshit, like genuinely bullshit. Not to say you don't have dreams, but like this fixation, I gotta make it, I gotta do it, hustle every day, that's a load of shit. Like, genuinely, that's not true. But it's because you feel this void, because you're like, that's how I'm gonna connect with people. Then people will like me, then I'll get attention. So I gotta be famous, basically. This is this weird world of social media that we're in, where everyone's trying to become famous so that they connect with people. And like, me too, I suppose, me too, but it's silly. It really all goes away, and you realize it's all enough when you just have people around. You don't need more money, you don't need this. Like, sure, you still continue to pursue your career or do all those things, like, there's nothing wrong with that. But when that's not secondary, then life's shit. When that's not secondary to people and relationships and just being around people, life's shit. And I'm talking all the fucking time. Like, I don't know if this is like, if people already see this and this is just me being late to the party, but I suspect not. I suspect it's partly, but I suspect a lot of people aren't even thinking about it like this. Like, literally, when we were kids, that's the model. Like, you're hanging out all the time with the boys or with the girls, or mix of boys and girls, with the family, with the parents, with the friends, with the whoever's, like randos, friends of friends, whoever, meeting people, just out and about, having new experiences, meeting new people, giving them the time of day, not in a rush to go home, like, I got to plan it out, I got to be back by this, like, let it go, just do it, let's just do it, let's just be, and getting the most out of each situation as well. Like, so worried about, we got to get back to it, always got to get right back to it. Let that go. It's bloody hard, and I mean, I'm struggling with that, but it's so clear to me, and I hope it's clear as well to others, that it's just this way that we're existing is absolutely cooked in the West, and we should just be hanging out all the freaking time. Work should be fun and should be a hangout. Like, who says work should be this serious thing that it is? Why is it this serious thing that it is? Because of fear, and people like, I got to make targets around money so you can survive. But like, we're so far beyond survival, you know what I mean? Like, what people are searching for is wealth and like, yeah, it's long-term security, all this stuff, but all of that shit, like, you can get security in people. You have strong communities and connections and friend groups and stuff. People help each other out. It's only because we're trying to compete with each other and I got to be better, I got to be this, and it just creates this whole bullshit game when we could just be celebrating life together and having connect. Like, you're not alone. You don't need to be able to pay to do someone to do something. You can just ask a friend to help you and do it together. It's free. And have some beers, and not only is it free, you get to do it together, and it's fun. You get to help them out, and it's like every day is a celebration because you get to hang out with your mates. Like, why are we not doing that? It's absolutely absurd. And seriously, why are we not doing that? Think about it. Genuinely think about that. Why the hell are we not doing that? Well, because there's bills to pay, or because, you know, you can't, life's tough, and it's like, I can't think of a reason. I genuinely can't think of a real reason why we shouldn't be doing that. Because if it's all play and no fun, nothing gets done. But I'm not saying don't do anything. I'm saying do the work, but do it together. Like, do it in a lighthearted spirit. It doesn't have to be so efficient and all of this. Like, and you know, sometimes you can go into focus mode or whatever. It's not always going to be shooting the shit, but yeah, it's just absurd. It really makes no sense. Like, all these problems that we think we have to pay for could just be resolved if we just connected with each other. You know, like, we wouldn't need insurance to pay for this. We wouldn't need this because we just have the community around us to bandy together and be like, yeah, we'll all get it. You know, we're all in this together. And also, everyone wouldn't be trying to rip everyone off with their pricing and all of this kind of stuff. But I mean, this is a utopian idea. Not really. It doesn't even have to be. We can still exist in the same sort of paradigm to an extent, but just like switch our focus, because literally countries overseas do this, and it's just stupid. I don't understand it at all. So I'm saying bring back hanging out with the friends all day, every day, pre-work, during work, after work, different groups of friends, whatever, but we're hanging out all the time. What are you doing tomorrow? What are we doing tonight? Like that, you know, that kind of thing. Like, you literally had a sleepover and then you spend the whole other day, the next day with your friends, and then you're like, oh, should we do something tonight as well? Can we have another sleepover? Like, could just a perpetual sleepover. Let's bring sleepover energy back, you know what I mean? And bring that into our lives. And it's just like, then you don't really fucking care about how good your body is, or like, that shit doesn't really matter as much, you know? It really you're just like, whatever. And you can train with your boys or train with the girls, train with whoever, you know what I mean? Like, that's, anyway, I'm just rambling about at this point, but damn, it's so clear. Whatever happened to just hanging out with your friends all the time? That's normal. That is normal. It seems extreme at this stage. That's normal. That's what we're wired to be like, always around, not alone. And we like condition ourselves to be alone, and it's so sad. But the reality is, we're not actually dealing with it, because then we need vices to deal with it. It's really simple. Like, try living by yourself. I'm literally doing it. And cutting out all vices, you can't. You literally implode because you're like trying to patch up one thing where it's like, can't do this, oh fuck, you know, and then you gotta go watch TV, and so you forget about it to distract yourself from the emptiness and the like dis-ease that you feel from being so isolated. It's really unnatural. Or like, maybe you don't watch TV, I'm not gonna watch TV, I'm just gonna read, but then you're snacking on sweet food because you wanna feel better, because there's that feeling still there. Or maybe you're drinking, or maybe you're smoking, or like, I promise you there's gonna be one thing, you know, or chronically masturbating, or just having sex all the time and just losing all your energy, and like, there's gonna be one thing that you're gonna be doing at least to make yourself feel better, and it's so unnatural. And that's why everything's so out of balance, especially in the West. Like, this is why there's this void there. And there's a void there because we don't have any connection to a higher power, to God, to great spirit. Like we're so in our minds and thinking that we're in control, and when really we have no idea what's going on. Like it's this fucking illusion of control. And when you can get past that, you realize, well, what's important, and it's relationships and people, and what the fuck are we doing wasting our time and treating each other like shit? Like it's so dumb. So yeah, get out there more. I have a remote job. Get out of that remote job. Stop working remotely. Yeah, work a hybrid job, be at home a little bit, but fucking get out there, be around people. Be around people, and, let's improve our workplaces so it's less serious and less bottom line driven, and like even in, tough economic, we got to hustle. It's a lie. You don't have to. You can just make slightly less money and have a way better time. That's what people care about. Well, that's what, if they're not aware, that is what people care about, but some people are just aware of it, so bring back sleepover energy. Come on, let's do it all day, every day, with the boys, with the girls. Let's hang out, let's have some fun again, because I'm sick of this shit.